Good evening, good evening. I know it is early for me, but I have a bit of things to do, so I have to come on early and ask some questions and continue the mass grave digging. We have a prime minister and 49 thieves to mold up. So it's a mass grave, so it takes time to dig, does it not? To my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls, everybody, welcome. Good evening. For those of you who are not here yet, I know it's a bit early. You don't expect me to be here this early, but I saw it go sometime. We're still on the prowl this evening, are we not? We have questions to ask this evening. And because we're not politically biased and we're not politically tribal on this global television, we will ask questions of any political party, any member of our legislature. We have no qualms in asking them questions. I see many of you hungry gut labor rights today throwing over my page. Rank a piff like Mike Henry Pompous. I'm you now come after over the truth. When a prime minister a thief, for the government a thief, for the party a thief. Am I lying? Is there not plain evidence out there that they are thieves? I'm going to address Andre Stevens and Wilford Rattigan. Last night you said, Andre, you told Rattigan to come from among them. Who you are forward for? You put yourself in the frame now. Who you are forward for? Who you tell Rattigan to come amongst from? Let me make something clear to my globalists. And Rattigan can come and lie if he want to. While I was on partner draw, I have never spoken to Rattigan. I spoke to Rattigan after leaving partner draw. I was introduced to Rattigan by a mutual friend. That mutual friend happened to be my security advisor. Of the about 5 times in my life I've ever spoken to Rattigan, only one of the 5 I've ever spoken to Rattigan on my own. I have no need to pick up my phone and call Rattigan about anything. And Rattigan cannot just pick up his phone and call me just like that. He has to go through my security advisor before he calls me if he needs to speak to me about anything. Wayne was never a part of any of the group. Wayne gave journalistic support to the group. So whoever tell Rattigan to come amongst from Andre, and whatever you tell Rattigan a month ago, you and Rattigan come out here. I dare both of you. Come out here and open on your mouth. Whether you, Andre Stevens, or you, Wilford Rattigan. Come out here and open on your mouth. Because I don't like when people talk about scamming the audience. You are Wilford Rattigan. If you think both of you have truth, come out here and open on the mouth. That's all I have to say on Andre and Will Rattigan for the moment. The ball is in your court, Andre. Come back out here and open your mouth. Move on to the thieves that we're dealing with. Coming on for the JLP, them, all of a sudden, them report come, Andre ready to jump in at this argument. And who Andre after except for me or Carlos? Hmm? I dare you. Start it, Andre Stevens. And you will see how we go down in a shebang. And you will see how recordings come back, come surface. Hey, hey, start it, Andre. Make we put out your business in a public. Make we talk all your clothing design. Go, Andre. So you never draw nothing yet. Where it come from, where you buy things from, and Andre, come. Come out here, come open your mouth. I dare you. When I love run up in a when business, we don't know. Anyway, Matthias Semelda. Let's go to Julian and Mark Golden. Coming out, go spend much time. Oh no. The focus of tonight is the Jamaica Labour Party on their treachery, stealing, crimes, and such alike, and such a forth. But I want to speak to Julian and Golden tonight. Golden and Julian Robinson confirm renunciation of British citizenship. Are you able to provide us the proof? With redaction, Mr. Golden and Mr. Robinson, will you be able to provide us proof of your British renunciation? Because there's a process, is it not? We are aware Mark Golden has a Jamaican passport. We've seen it. You know, Darrell said there's no secret in Jamaica. We are aware Julian also has dual citizenship, meaning he has his Jamaican citizenship and his British citizenship. Stay with it. We're going somewhere. I cannot remember, though, at any time Matthew SAMUDA spoke about dual citizenship. He spoke about his British citizenship. But to Mark Golden and Julian Robinson, are you able to provide us proof that you have renounced your British citizenship? Have you received your renunciation certificate? Based on the procedure, both of you, from what I know and understand, would be able to show Britain that you have another citizenship in renouncing your British citizenship. So the procedure wouldn't be as difficult if you have not yet attained another country's citizenship in giving up your British citizenship. The question to the Jamaica Labour Party and Matthew SAMUDA, hot off the press, Wagwan sis. The question is, before May, was it May of this year, the debacle started with the dual citizenship going in? Before that surfaced, have Matt ever hold Jamaica's citizenship? I think that's argument surfaced around May. Somebody help me along if they remember the timeline when this whole citizenship brouhaha came out. Angela 48349. Well, go on, my friend. Can you show proof that you have gone through the process? But to Matt, we're going deeper. You're the more we're concerned of tonight. Based on your coming to the legislature now in the House of Representatives in a shroud of fraud, Matthew SAMUDA. We want to know if prior to all of this British dual citizenship argument, if Matt hold a Jamaican citizenship, because we never heard Matt spoke about dual citizenship. He spoke about his British citizenship. Matt also told us he's taking steps to renounce his British citizenship. Is Matt able to provide us any proof of that? And let me say to Lloyd B. Smith, it wasn't the public pressure them into giving up their citizenship. This very argument, Lloyd B. Smith, if you remember, started by the Andrew Holness and his cronies and bloggers, who, after the constitutional review, broke down over the points that Mark Golding stood out on, i.e., the Privy Council versus the court, Caribbean Court of Justice, the issue of the Maroon, the issue of diaspora, the issue of Rastafarians. Those are the issues that Andrew refused to discuss in public at the moment, then went in media, Lloyd B. Smith, having interviewed about the ultimate leader of the country ought to hold Jamaican citizenship only. And the debate spiral away from that. That was how it happened, Mr. Smith. It wasn't just the public forcing these people to give up their citizenship. That brouhaha was started by Andrew Holness because he didn't want to deal with the issue at hand concerning the constitutional review. Renouncing your British citizenship, Matt, after you've applied for your citizenship renunciation, have you received anything that you can furnish us with, Matt? And can you prove to the British Home Office, Matthew, that you have another citizenship or that you are in process of receiving citizenship in another country, Mr. SAMUDA? Have you received your declaration of renunciation? And that particular question goes to the three gentlemen. Have you received your certificate of renunciation? Have you made that application? Or is it that we're not just a come out here, come tell me? We want to know, if our leaders are telling us the truth. There is a time limit in the second paragraph. It will take 6 months from when you make the application to receiving the declaration, the certificate of declaration. If you cannot provide proof of another citizenship of another country, that you are going to receive citizenship of another country, you'll have to remain with your British citizenship. The broader question is, has Matthew SAMUDA ever had a Jamaican citizenship? And if he had not before the citizenship argument process, has he gone through an expedited process to receive a Jamaican citizenship? Bros, if he cannot prove to the British Home Office, if to have your citizenship renounced through the application process, the British would not, the statelessness would not apply, because the British will not leave you without status if you cannot provide proof that you've received status in another country, or you're about to receive status in another country. Otherwise, your application would be nullified. They're not going to remove your citizenship and your request if you cannot show them that you have citizenship in another country. So that if you cannot provide that proof, it will invalidate your application. So Matt needs to prove to us, because we now know that Matt is a crook. We now know that Matt is a liar. We're waiting to find out if Matt is a thief. But we want to see proof of the renunciation, that the renunciation certificates has been received. And in relation to Matt, we want to see proof that he had a Jamaican citizenship prior to the citizenship debacle. Yes, Angela, the Matt with the multiple address. The Matt where catch a people yard. The Matt where walk and catch a people yard to get in the House of Representatives. The Matt who committed electoral fraud to make his way into the representative. The Matt who resigned and didn't even have respect to tell you, the country, who employed Matt. Because by way of you employing the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister employ Matt, Matt's working for us. Matt resigned a government position. Matt resigned his Senate appointment. Matt never even had the respect. Hey, Jesus. Look at what we're pushing in our House of Representatives. All because people are overwhelmed by the support of a dead woman. The love for a dead woman. That's why I end up with Marsha. It wasn't about Marsha. It was about Horace Chang and the playing on Robinson's name. And it's the same thing they're coming back to do again with a criminal. One who has made his way to you fraudulently. One who made his way to you fraudulently. And I say the labor right them come over my page, come piss up themselves like Mike Henry, a try to defend Andrew Holness and Matthew SAMUDA. Be logical, JLP supporter. What is there to defend? What is there to defend? Even if you don't live in Western Jamaica, think about your brothers and sisters in Western Jamaica, that Matt has diverted their water. Your country is without a minister of water at the moment. Let's hear it. Let's listen to Dayton Campbell, and then we'll come back to you.
30 by-election date announced for the constituency of North East St. Anne would excite the political bases of both the JLP and the PNP as the first time back at the polls since local government elections in March. But not so. The People's National Party has declared it will pass on this poll. The by-election was called after the resignation of the Member of Parliament, Marsha Smith, on Tuesday. But why is the PNP unwilling to contest the seat? Instead, The party is challenging the motives of the Prime Minister for calling a singular by-election when the South Trelawney seat has been left vacant after the resignation of former MP and House Speaker Marissa Dalrymple Philibert in September of last year, in addition to the impending vacancy in the constituency of North West St. Andrew following the resignation of Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark.
Well, I plead the truth in saying that that is not so, because we have said that we are ready to contest Morantby and we are ready to contest Town. Reason being that those by-elections are being called when the next local government election is due in 2028, 3.5 years from now. The point being made here is that we are in the final year. I heard the points about being fiscally prudent and all of those things, which obviously doesn't make sense, and that there's no disruption. We currently are operating without a Minister of Water because we had the resignation of the minister, we weren't told, and because he's now vying for a constituency. When you do a serial set of by-elections, you're going to have the same ministers out there campaigning when they should be focusing on the business of the government. This is designed to help a failing government whose popularity is on a downward spiral. We think that it's waste of taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
It takes approximately $25 million to hold a by-election.
Yes.
If you're going to hold a series of them. Now, Marsha Smith was the one that was asked to resign. You have Carl SAMUDA, you have Mike Henry, you have Babsy Grains, J.C. Hutchinson, all in the departure lounge. None of those persons were asking her. This young lady in her first term, she wasn't supported by the Labour Party. She was used and disposed of. And the Prime Minister is going to say that he's going to find somewhere else to place her. This is just the government trying to use the state to play politics and to settle the JLP internal business.
This JLP communication strategist, however, is hitting back at the narrative of the PNP. Morgan asserts that electioneering is not the Labour Party's MO.
The Jamaica Labour Party categorically rejects any such assertion or suggestion. I will tell you why.
Yes.
The party has to be mindful of its political considerations, but even more so has to focus attention on the management of the country, management of the economy. And as you said before, having regard to where we are in the scheme of things, we are now less than a year to a general election, as it were. What you have now is an important refreshing happening, building on the economic gains that we have made so far, and seeking to channel our efforts into accelerating and intensifying rates of growth going forward.
Under the Westminster model of government, the Prime Minister holds absolute authority on the calling of by- and general elections. General elections are due in Jamaica every 5 years, with the next general election in Jamaica constitutionally due in 2025. Courtney Lewis for CVM. You may have...
Let me answer Morgan with one simple statement. What the government, Morgan, has not accomplished in 8 years, they will not manage to do it in 1 year. That just flew over our head, what you just said. What the government has not managed to do or done in 8 years, in the 1 year that this government has left. Yes, Kate, it may start early, coming. I have something for God, so I want to make sure they come on early. I know a lot of people are going to see this after later on, but I saw it go sometime. But if this government, Morgan, has not managed in 8 years to achieve what you think this government will achieve in 1 year, I mean, you could understand then why the Labour right them over Twitter with this madness. I mean, hiding your head under a bushel, those of you Labour rights on social media at this juncture. That shows so you don't have no shame, you know. At this moment, you know, really if you hide on your face. But on the don't have no shame. On the rock up on yourself out here. Rank like Mike Henry Pampas. And think to someone you can rub up on yourself with people and you can come with any truth. Hmm? What does the Integrity Commission have to explain other than them investigate illicit enrichers? If you're under the investigation, it have to be for something criminal. Illicit enrichment don't come from nothing good. So all when the report not table yet and we don't know what in the report, we can still call them thief. And that them they get investigated for. All right? Tell them to keep them finger. If them never want to get investigated, tell them to keep them finger at them side. Who are Matthew people? Who is he related to? Who is his grandmother, grandfather? How did he get into politics? Now, Matthew SAMUDA, a lot of people are confused because of name and ethnicity or color. Some people would understand it better like that. Many people at one time, I thought so too. Many people think that Carl SAMUDA is the father of Matthew SAMUDA. It's quite not so. It's very much, they're different SAMUDAs. They only share last name and color. From the little that I can find out about little Matt was adopted by some black SAMUDAs in Jamaica. But Matt is of a British mother, born in London. We are not aware of who Matt's father is. So we are going to have to dig into Matt. What I'm going to do, because Matt knows that I can do this well, is go to the British Birth, Death, and Register marriage. And that is where I'll be able to chase Matt's background. Who are his parents on birth paper? And when I find that on his birth paper, that will allow me to look for his parents' birth certificate also, which his parents' birth certificate would lead me to his grandparents' birth certificate, such a like and such a forth. But if Matt was adopted at birth and the legal adoption process was done in Britain here, that's kind of a more difficult to search. But Matt knows that on the British side here, when it comes to the death, birth, and marriage, we can find those information. So that's the only way that we are going to find out who Matt real people are, and if Matt people are linked to the slave trade, you see. So I need researchers to come on board and help me dig Matt, especially those of you on the British side of things here. Help me to pull Matt's birth certificate on the British birth and death register. We can also pull his mother's birth certificate, and we can work our way into his family tree then to see the British connection of Matt and whether he's connected to plantation owners like David Cameron and all of those people, such alike and such a forth. Because we cannot find anything on the Jamaica side on Matt, you see. That black SAMUDA as well, I think he has a background in law and economics. and somewhere around that line. But we will get into that side of Matt, but we're still asking Matt or the JLP people them to answer the question as to whether before the citizenship debacle, and Matt told us he had a British citizenship and was born in London. Then we will ask him to provide us that proof if he ever had a Jamaican citizenship and if he currently holds one now. If he does, we would also ask Matt to provide us proof of his renunciation certificate received from the British Home Office. Angela, may I depend upon you to help me do that digging there too. We're going to dig you, man, because we can't find you in Jamaica. So if they bury you foreign, we'll dig you up. Maybe in the digging of the mass grave for Alibaba and the 40 thieves, we might just find something about little Matt. We might be able. Lady P, if you're hearing me, help with this research as well. We need any amount that can come on board. And we're going to dig Matt's file. We're going to dig Matt's family file. We want to know who Matt is related to. We want to know why a Jamaican family adopted a London baby. We want to know what age you were adopted, Matt, and under the circumstances of your adoption. This is how you cheat politicians, you see. You go right back to when Jesus Christ was on earth, if you can, to find out whatever you may about those who will hold the reins of power in your country. So we are coming, Matt. If you not think you can dodge with this, so look on the teeth them. Look on the teeth them. That one you surprised me, you know. This year one you surprised me. I was never looking for this teeth to surface. Smiling teeth. Pretty face teeth. Me never look for you at all. Me know so you side with Juliet where they in the galangin. But I couldn't pinpoint where you take side with Juliet for. Couldn't pinpoint until yesterday. Until yesterday. At that time, we know. Dirty BBC with the Opa pedophiles them working there. Dirty Sky News with the only racists them working there. Dirty CNN with the only modern days faggot working there. You know, see we are popped down in Jamaica. Dirty lying Fox News, ABC America, Dirty Fox 5, where everything about the Demons Vibes cartel on want to promote. You know, see we are broke down in Jamaica. Oh, me not see pan no international anything. But you can come tell we say Jamaica the superpower for the Caribbean. Where there's a confusion, Lachlan, can you explain the confusion? Explain the confusion if you identify one. Why you not see? So the top tiers of our parliamentarians are investigated for illicit enrichment. Why you don't see that? Did you hear me say charge? Do not play what a man the name? But the lawyer man with passport and nationality together. Where did I spoke about charge? will be charged. Where did I spoke about any charge? Have you read the report? Have you read the document? The 4 letters will come for, so why you accept the 3 will come for the 3 parliamentarian, but you not accept the one will come for the clerk? How do you read that one differently from the 3, from the other 3 that's there? I don't get that, Lachlan. I really don't get that. Anyway, move on. This Latifia, and she surprised me to be under the probe. Media look for bigger fish. Me was looking for bigger fish. Me never look for this one year. That one year surprised me. Take me by surprise. Never too. I look for Tom and Hirai either. We know Hirai a thief. Because Hirai and Chopper John them rob up fellowship division campaign money. So me know them a thief. That's so. Because Tom Tavares over the Senate and him never angle the constituency money, contract dealings and them something there, me never too expect Tom neither. I was more expecting some more high flyers in the House of Representatives, even though we have 4 more to come. But I want to ask the Integrity Commission something. Miss Lull, is she one of the 6 fish that was caught in the net? Or is she one of the 2 that was caught in this recent annual report? Which of the report Miss Lull was caught in? It'd be interested to know if she a thief from she was a deputy. Because it was explained why she takes side with Juliet when the Curtis Holness debacle. Because it was plain from her doings that she took side. Because she just come in so and she had a review and she released this and she released that. It'd be interesting to know which of the reports Miss Lull was caught in. Very interested. This other thief. Just when we think he was only a criminal, we're becoming to find out. We know he was a criminal in that way. But we're now finding out that the president of the Senate is involved in illicit enrichment. Whatever, I don't care what them are going to come tell. We remember them do it with Andrew last year. Them come tell we all of the wrongdoing of Andrew Holness. Then them let off Andrew Holness scot-free in a public. Whatever want to come with this time, we know we're not guilty of stealing. We could have wipe off and bleach out and forensically wash down. We will know say a gun on a point at the Integrity Commission. Forget what we want. We know not have one of prosecutors them, on a corrupt prosecutors them, will always find a way to let on off and bail on out. We can't get away from the public though. Because we cannot be fooled by a fake mainstream media anymore. By the mainstream media, the 2 most dying things in Jamaica right now is the Jamaica Labour Party and mainstream media in Jamaica. Those are two dying entities in our country, not fit for purpose. Don't use a thing at all. Don't have a use for a thing at all. Not a use. The depth of the Labour Party, ushered in by the youngest Prime Minister Jamaica ever had, the youngest leader the Jamaica Labour Party has ever had. And in the middle of the Prime Minister being caught in a shroud of corruption and stealing, the Prime Minister, who his wife was caught stealing in public, which is the most embarrassing thing, Andrew Holness, for any Jamaican man, is for their wife, girlfriend, or baby mother to be caught in public stealing. How does Andrew Holness feel this evening, knowing instead of Jonah, he will have to be throwing his wife overboard? But this same Andrew Holness is steadfast in corruption and committing crime and electoral fraud by way of getting a crony, pulling a crony out of the Senate, dismiss a crony from the representative, using the crony pulled from the Senate to replace the crony removed from the representative, and then tell us that, oh, I will find somewhere to put the crony I've removed from the representative. Possibly, I might put her in the Senate. The dancing and dodging of our politics, of a failed government who has failed on all of its promises, have never implement or introduce a crime plan. Even the Inter-American Human Rights Commission, Andrew Holness, is becoming concerned of your use of state of emergency. This government in 8 years have never functioned. It functioned and prop up itself and optics and narrative, but nothing substantial. Nothing. 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 This government is a massive failure. Big time. If I'm a one for turn out and dance on your grave, Prime Minister, I will be doing it. And to answer your question real sweet, yes, you can reunify. It's called a right of a board application. if you renounce your British citizenship, you can receive it back through a right of a board application. So if you renounce it voluntarily, it's not something that the government will deny you of because you haven't committed any terror offense or anything. So when you're ready back for it, you can apply and what is called under the right of board application. At this time, I think right of board application costs around 500 and something pounds. But yes, that's the process. That is the process for achieving that. So it's not something that you throw away indefinitely. You see, this is why the whole thing of this does not matter. Because the nonsense of what we've veered down to, the Jamaica Constitution spoke nothing about Jamaican citizenship. This is why the whole of this argument is so irrelevant. And using it back on the JLP because they made a mess of it the other day. The whole argument, though, constitutionally doesn't stand up. Our Constitution spoke nothing about a Jamaican citizenship. And to go down the route of Wildman on a passport and travel document debate, it was quite a skewed up. No, not right of a board. That right of a board is called ABODE. That's right of a board. ABODE. I think that's how it's spelled. Yeah. I'm convinced. Let me check. But I think that's how it's spelled. The right of a board there. Yeah, man, ABODE. Yes. So that's the application you would make to the British Home Office if you want to reunify. Yes, it's ABODE, right of a board. I want me to attack say again. Me all in sometime the eggs slip. But this government can't rekindle this mash up deflated balloon. When balloon bore whole bore in a balloon, Prime Minister, it's either splatter away or it deflates slowly. Your government, the Jamaica Labour Party, at this moment, based on the corruption of your government, Prime Minister, is slowly deflating. Your wife is the head of the legislature, Prime Minister. You are the head of the executive. Both are not teeth. Both are not corrupt. Nepotistic conflict of everything. Lack of integrity going on around your leadership, Prime Minister. The dictatorial move of your government, the political plays of your government, the use of public resources by your government in your personal politics. Enough of it. Call a general election. The country needs the right to make the choice. Where do we go from here? Given that our government is falling apart from within. Anyway, my people, thank you very much for being here. I'm going to have to run. But if we're going to come out here on the weekend, it will be on Global TV Studio 358. You know, we like to take our weekend breaks. But given the breaking news in our country, if Global TV have to come out here tomorrow on Sunday, we will be coming out on Global TV Studio 358. So that's the place to be over the weekend as we will continue the breaking news in our country. The breaking news when nobody now discuss. Whenever hear something go so yet, talk truth. Whenever hear report of politicians investigated for illicit enrichment. The question though to ask, when will these reports be tabled? Because all of the people that will preside over the tabling of the report concerns them. What a masha, what a lala. Anyway, thank you all for spending time with us this week. We look for your continuous support in growing and improving the Global Television brand. Thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe to Studio 358 because that's where we will more likely to be over the weekend if we're coming out here. Thank you very much. Thanks for your support. Good night from Global Television. Have a wonderful weekend and make sure you do what is right.